YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. 2 on the tall boys. It's gonna be a long one, I think. Oh man, I've been rough as a dog's ass for weeks. Don't know what it was. Don't say fucking COVID. I've had COVID 3 times. It weren't that. It's a lot worse than fucking that. Touch wood, I think I might be out the other side. I think it was a combination of hay fever and some sort of man flu. But yeah, rough. Not rough that it wipes you out and leaves you in bed, but just rough as in like generally just feeling fucking rough, but still being able to function. Because hey, you know, blokes are just got to get on with it. Even though I am a terrible patient. That being said, guys, I've got fucking so much shit. Just trying to sort of coagulate it all together. It's just like, oh man, there's too much. It'll be like Atari overload. I'm not kidding. Or PC Engine or Super Nintendo overload. So I don't know what to do. There's a lot of it. I'm probably gonna have to do title this something like loads of old shit, because I'm kind of tempted to do the older stuff. And I've got a massive stack, big stack of nudie magazines. I mean, computer magazines. Bonus points for the quote from the movie for that. So that's what I think I'm going to do that, because to be honest, I could really do with cataloguing these CVG magazines. They're all mainly CVGs. There's a few guides, but they're mainly CVGs. Because it's just a fucking junk shop. Told you that last vid. There's a burp. For if someone likes me always burping, well, they probably don't like me burping, probably think it's fucking gross, but hey ho, there's a burp for you. I can't think who it was. Shit, you know what? There's another fucking machine I forgot. I'll do it next video. So that's where we're at. So up until the last sort of vid, and I can't remember what event that was because it'd been coming thick and fast. Someone I forgot to mention. There's probably a few people I forgot to mention, but I've seen this chap again at the Birmingham market. So I will talk about Birmingham. Kind of trying to catch up with myself here. Retro or Bus. I don't know what the chap's name is. I've seen him about for quite a while. I've seen him at Blackpool and stuff like that. He asked me about the hotel again, and I forgot it. The fucking name out of Top Gun. Miramar. Pung. So what's he? I drink and I know things. The Miramar. So yeah, don't go to that one. But he asked me again what it was called, and I still feel, I always remember it's just something to do with Top Gun, but it's Miramar. Don't go there. But yeah, he was there. Seen the Frost brothers, Danny and Lee. Seen Keep It Retro, TJ. God, who else was there? There was loads of people. Jay Cybersnake turned up in his fucking moon boots. Trying to think who else off the top of my head. I haven't really thought about it. So I haven't written anything down. So again, if I've forgotten anybody off, I do apologise. I'll probably remember you at some point, and I'll probably see you at another event at some point. Oh, I think that was it. I didn't see, there wasn't a couple of the usual people that go to the Birmingham one. It had moved. So the Birmingham market had moved. I might title this Birmingham Gaming Market and old shit. Something like that. Because I got some nice bits from there, actually. There's a chap who was at the Nottingham one, and I think he must have like come along to have a nose, and then he was stalling out because I recognised him because I thought he looked like John Travolta out of Grease. I don't think he got the joke. Asian lad, lovely guy, and he had some nice stuff on his stall. Actually, he had a Killer Instinct boxed SNES, but it was a bit ropey. They're all ropey, but it didn't have all the innards. It had like some of the poly. It had the 2 polys, but they were like really rough, and the box was rough. I was just like, nah, man, I can't do it. But he did have this. He did have this for 20 quid, and I was like, I'm having that fucker. And it's just an empty box for the Wavebird. It's got all the innards. But I thought, oh, I'm snapping that bad boy up. To be honest, I wouldn't. I've got 4 of these, but not boxed. None of them boxed. So I'm going to stick one to the box here. I get a bit of a sucker for the peripherals. I've said that before, you know. and only certain systems, because you can't collect everything, you know, unlike like the Game Gear, which we'll be featuring in this video from Birmingham Gaming Market. It was that I can't remember what it's called now, Billing or something. A nice venue, I must admit. I think it's run by some Seek guys. Really tidy, really clean, nice space. None of this nonsense about fucking opening doors, locking us all out and stuff. I mean, the other one, the Custard Factory, is horrendous for that. Really not good owners. But no, these guys, sound, they had some food on and stuff like that. The only thing that's probably lacking was a nice coffee. They had that fucking instant shit that like burns the crap out of you. So that's the only downside, but maybe I can live with that. But no, really good. Again, like I said before, guys, if you ever think about stalling out, or you think about selling your stuff, stall out, man. You have a great day, make some money, yeah, you'll meet some nice people, hopefully. VJ, Vic Raj, V, I just call him V. He was there with his old man. I think he had a good day. But it was a good space, you know. It's a good space, easy to load and get in and out and stuff. And for being Birmingham, it wasn't too bad. It was just me and Fob. This one, Dainster was there, and Hidden Chest and Liam. I'm just trying to think if there's anybody else I bumped into that I hadn't mentioned before, because I say a lot of them just like blur into one a little bit. The next one is Doncaster. Historically, not that good for me, I have got to admit. Doncaster, I don't know why it holds this sort of I don't know what you call it, putting on a plinth. Excuse me, but not really for me. But we'll see. We'll see. Strange things have happened at sea. Anyway, look, I'm looking down here because this is where some of the stuff is. So, from Birmingham, my mate Fob, I think he got like I don't know, a job lot, a buy from somewhere or other. He knew he was into me Atari. Now, generally, I unbox Atari, but he sent me a picture and he had some manuals. I said, oh, I need that. I need that manual. I haven't got the game for that manual. And he said, oh, I've got the cartridge for it. So he very, very kindly done me, well, basically given me, because he's a fucking idiot like that, Demons to Diamonds. So I'm missing the box. So generally what I'll probably do is, if I manage to locate a box, obviously I'll just put this in there. If I get a box complete one in a bundle, I'll give him this back. If I get one that's missing the manual, you get what I mean. So I'll give him the bits back. It's almost like a part loan, I suppose. But that's the kind of guy he is, stand-up guy. They all are, everybody I know are, except for the cunts. And they're just cunts, so what do you know? Nice to see some people back on the tubes. Like I say, you know, with my hiatus I had, and it wasn't for any other reason, it was just time. Like I say, we're not stalling out now till about a month, 21st, I think it is, 21st of June. I think that's when Doncaster is. Look, let me hang fire. Hang fire. I'll tell you. I put it down. Do you know what? I don't think I did this the last video. I'll put the sort of calendar, for want of a better word, down there. Yeah, Donny's is 21st of June. And I think that might be a Saturday. It is. So if it's a Saturday, 21st of June. And then you've got London at the 29th of June. So again, a little bit of a lull. So I thought, you know what? Let's get a vid done and get some of the stuff put away. So anyway, that's from kind of like from Birmingham, if you like. Then from... This one was from Nick Vintage Gamer, I think. Game Gear game. See, old Scott Marathon Game A's really got me juices going for the old Game Gear. We've got the Loin King. I would have said this is not that expensive as along with this other one, but I think I've got a pretty good price. I didn't haggle with Nick. I bought some outs off of him as well, and he just did me a deal. So really appreciate it. He don't watch this stuff, but yeah, the Lion King, again, like Disney games, it's a Master System version, isn't it? Now this one actually turned out to be a fucking great buy. So there's a chap there, and if you've been to any of these markets, you've probably seen these two lads, Scouse lads, in the not historically, the last year or so, they've mainly been selling Lego and box protectors. Who Big Game Al bought his like acrylic boxes off and stuff like that, and Lego and coasters and stuff. And he turned up with all these games again, and I speak to him. I don't really know him that well, but I speak to him, I have a laugh, and I went, what the fuck are you doing selling games? What's going on here? I'm having a word with Elliot, and we had a bit of a laugh, like. And he had some nice bits there, really did. He had And you don't see this very often. He had an actual PAL boxed power glove, you know, with the proper stickers on, not the, is it the pack? I can't remember what the Japanese version is of it. It's the same thing, but it's literally like the PAL version, and you don't see them, man. I even said that to him. The box needed a bit of work. I mean, he ain't doing anything with it. I could have added another fucking 200 quid to that box, easy. I did say, dare I ask on the power glove, and he went 500. He goes, I don't even know, because you don't see them. I said, fair dues, man, fair dues. I don't know if he sold it or not. It's nice to see. Nice to see. Don't know. He had some game gear. He had some game. Like I say, I always have a look round. And he had this one. I couldn't really read the price. I don't know if his price was a bit iffy. And he said, I think it was like 12 quid. And he gave it me for a tenner. Absolute fucking bargain when I got back, to be honest. I think it's about 16 quid in CX. And it's Spider-Man Return of the Sinister Six. So this, there you go. Again, this is one of those multi-system games. Come out on the Master System, clearly, and also on the NES. Fob actually got me a copy of this years and years back on the NES, bless him. So, yeah, that was a bit of a surprise, because although I've probably got way over half, man. I've probably got 3/4 of the way in for a Game Gear set. I've not really, like, been actively collecting them, so the prices, like I said this last time, I'm still kind of trying to find my feet. But again, look, if anything's a tenner or something like that, fucking, I'll take it. Sometimes you see some of the games, you think, what the fuck? And then you check the price, and it's like, well, actually, they're not too far off. And it's some of the weird games that you wouldn't even think. Anyway, there was a couple of other lads. They had all, like, they had all the advertising, like, I can't remember what they're called, like retro fucking something. Everyone's called retro something. But there's some good deals. I'm pretty sure they must have sold a lot of this stuff, because it was like, wouldn't say like dirt cheap, but it was cheap enough that it would sell. And you had this little box on the floor of some games and whatnot. And I think it was like, I can't remember what they were. There was some loose discs. There was, I think it was PS2, but they had a little part of PS1, and they had a little sign on the I think the Xbox. That was it. On the Xbox, it had like £5 each. So all the PS1 games were 5 each. They didn't have any. There wasn't a price on them. Yeah, they're 5 each. I took a flyer on this because I thought to myself, I think I've got the second one. I haven't got the first one. A while back, a few people had picked this up, and I think it was a demo. I think that's where a lot of people played this one. So I've got the second one, and I just took a fly foot for a £5. Fuck it, well, I'll have it. And it's Roll Cage. Now I can't remember if I played it on the PC, but I think this may have been a demo. You know, one of the early demo discs. Well, it's 1,600. It's not really that new. But it's where you can sort of basically, as the name suggests, I don't really do if it does or doesn't. It's like a tunnel racer, and you can flip upside down and rotate and all that kind of stuff. But there is a Roll Cage too, and that is what I wasn't sure of. But yeah, there's Roll Cage 2. But yeah, so I got the video for a £5. I mean, come on, man, £5 for a nice, and it's not a shit game, you know. It's not like fucking some tut. So half decent for a £5. I was like, lads, I'll take that. At this point, I'm spending all of me float, me change. Because I have to be careful, because I'll just go fucking mental. And then the last thing that I got from there, I bought this towards the end. So, full disclosure, Switch 2 been pre-ordered for ages. Obviously, I don't think anybody's getting it from Nintendo, because that's stupid rules that they've got about, you have to be a member, you've had to have paid us to then to give you preference to buy our console, and then you've had to play this many hours, and then you've had to, like, whatever. I just ordered it from the catalogue, so hopefully it comes on time, and hopefully it doesn't get cancelled, but it's looking okay at the minute. So I'm not going to go too much into Switch 2, because, like I say, I tend to keep it retro, so to speak. But I've always said, like, the Switch is my sort of play a console, and I've still got 2 sealed games there. But that being said, so there's a few games, and I'm not going to get into how Nintendo have completely cocked it up, because we all know they have. There's a couple of games that are kind of like uplifting, upgrading, I suppose, for free. And one of these is this game here, and I noticed on the little list, and it's one that's from the Wii U. I don't think I ever completed. I definitely didn't complete the DLC that they got with it, and it comes in a pack on the Switch, and it's Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. So one of the lads I know, again, on his little stall, and I seen this, and I honestly, before, when was this? The Sunday, on the Saturday I was in CX, and I nearly bought this from CX. I said that to him, just so I could play it again in, like, you know, in 4K and all that kind of stuff, because I'd never really played the Bowser's Fury. I mean, I've got Mario 3D World on the Wii U, even with the furry little cover, you know, that one. But I don't ever remember completing it. I definitely didn't do Bowser's Fury, so I thought, you know what? And I've got something apart from CEX, but this guy had it. He did me a fantastic deal. He said himself he was going to keep it for him and his daughter to play, but they probably wouldn't do. I think it's like 25 quid. I think CX is 35. So he did me an absolute solid there. And I know what you're going to say, oh, you won't ever play it. But I will get round to playing it, honestly. When I have a bit of a lull, and I've got a couple of sealed Switch games there, I'll get round to doing it. So that was Birmingham. That was a Birmingham market. So, actually did better than I thought. My voice was absolutely shot. If anyone's seen me there, it's a lot better than it now than it was then, because that's when it really started to go downhill. And I'd been ill for about 3 weeks before that. So fuck knows what it was. Some fucking, I don't know, what's the latest thing? Monkeypox or some fucking shit. But I've been trying to give it away. No one wants it. So hopefully, moving forward, I might be able to keep on top of when the shows are. And say if I buy anything, that's when I'll show it. And if I meet anybody new and whatnot. So look, guys, that's Birmingham. Say, new venue, liked it, very spacious. There's a trader, nice getting in and out. I think, as a punter, I think it was free parking. I'm sure a few lads have mentioned that. I can't think there's anybody else. I might have missed somebody. I do feel bad for it, but no, great event. Right, that being said, look, we're fucking 20 minutes in. I've only showed you a few bits from Birmingham. So it's going to be, like I say, I have got some PlayStation, so maybe we should stick with PlayStation, and I know those people that don't like the old stuff can do one. Oh, no, I forgot this, from my mate Fob. He had to sort out of all his old shit, broken stuff or whatever, and he dropped the bag off, and I sort of picked some bits out from it. This was missing the nunchuck, the remote. I had everything else in it, so I had one of the remotes, and it's just a little addendum. I mean, Rob weren't going to do anything with it, and it's just the Wii U sort of bonus pack. So it had everything else in it other than the Wii Motion Plus controller. So yeah, quite nice, you know. Again, it's just touches in here. I mean, I'm not going to do anything with it, but why not? You know, I'll bag it up and then stick it in the loft for someone else to worry about in a couple of years' time. But no, thanks, Fob, and obviously, like I say, look, you know, thanks for the Atari game. Really do appreciate that. Right, so outside of that, PlayStation. I bought some PlayStation bundles, bits and bats. A few bits I always want to keep. Like I said before, I'm not going to reiterate too much, but if I'm buying sort of stuff like that, I don't know what it is. I feel like I need to own something from it. I don't know why. It makes me feel less of a lizard. So that being said, these have all come via that kind of means. I haven't got really, not really looked too much into most of these. I have been watching a chap, and I think he's recently subbed, Goblin Retro. He actually speaks a bit of Spanish and Japanese. I was really amazed. I'll link him down below. I think I found him from, maybe it was Gold Tooth. Someone shouted him out. Gold Tooth, Retro, maybe Retro Wed, maybe Welsh Steve. Can't remember where I found him. Maybe James, Retro Import Gamer James. I think it might have been James. He said 2 people. I always go over and have a look. I always look at people's pickups video, and if they're a fucking knobhead who's talking about CEX and car boots and stuff, then it's a no. But this guy wasn't. He's into his PlayStation a little bit. Not a you know, sort of jumping on the CX hype train, anything like that. And he's into his demos. So anyway, that's where this comes into. So I don't know much about these. I think these are PS2 ones. So it's a PlayStation experience. This looked like it was free with something. Oh, it was Edge. God, Edge. What a great magazine at the time. But back now, man, they're not. Same with Games TM. They're not worth fucking anything. Yeah, PlayStation 2 experience. Again, this little demos. I don't know where this one's come from. Autumn, Christmas releases. We've got sealed. We've not done that for a while. Matt Hoffman 2's Pro BMX video trip video. And an EA showcase, Christmas 2004. Was that before they become absolute fucking knobheads? I don't know. There's some nice games on there though. So those are like little, I don't know, from like they're just chucked in. I bought a job lot of stuff. Different lots as well, probably. But with that in mind, there was this lot. Now I've got one of these, but I haven't got the official one. So I was like, I've got to have it. I've got to have it, and I'll just keep it just for this. And it is a PlayStation mouse, the official mouse. Ferrite bead, N64 Tress, Miles. You didn't realise that that's stop interference. I'm not sure really how effective it was. But yeah, the old mouse ball, not an optical mouse. So for those old enough to remember, back in today, because I used to be IT. I used to be a techie guy. You used to have to clean. People say, oh, my mouse is broke. You know what it was? It always used to get all gunked up on the rollers. You're forever having to clean the rollers. But this one seems all right. Probably used for your point and clicks and stuff like that, and RTSs. Ow, that's my finger. Yeah, in nice nick. Micro switched. And along with that, I think it's a bit sun faded. I don't know, maybe it comes with a magazine, but a PlayStation mouse. It's a bit yellow, don't it? Maybe it should have been white, but I thought, you know, I'm keeping that anyway, fuck it. So we've got a mouse and a mouse pad. I have got a mouse, but I think it's I can't remember what make it is now. Oh dear God. Mad Cats, maybe, I think. I want to say. Nice one, but not official. Right, some games. Again. Oh no, I actually got one more. I got one more controller. These have all come from different bundles, so you know, it's not that the demos came with the mouse or anything like that. They're all mixed up, and I can't fucking remember for the life of me. But this one I got off somebody's Facebook Marketplace, Facebook groups. Some of these are from eBay. This one was from a Facebook group. When I seen the bundle, I thought, I want that out of it. I want that out of it. That's it. I'm happy. The rest of it, I'll shift on or whatever. I'll keep this, keep that, move that on. But these are like quite sought after. And I remember, I think it's Eddie, young Eddie Rollercore was talking about these, and somebody else was as well, and I can't think who it was. But these are like the Gen 1 controllers. I don't know if they're sought after. They're just a little bit quirky. And it's the, I can't remember what the model is, but it's these doobers. So those eagle eyes will realise, the analogues have got dimples in them, but the actual, I don't know what you call them, the probes are somewhat elongated. Who doesn't like an elongated probe? So they actually feel a bit more comfortable in your hand. You can kind of grip them a bit better. I don't know why. I think they defaulted to the Japanese design footprint, where these sort of got a bit shorter and stuff, and they've removed the dimples out of these. I don't know, but yeah, I saw this. I can't remember. There's a name for it. It's an MK something. MK Ultra. No, MK. I can't fucking read that shit. But yeah, they're about 30 odd quid. So I thought, you know what? We'll have that. I'm not going to do anything with it. Are you kidding? But it's like another little curio. You know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, we're keeping that fucker. So there's a little bit more PlayStation. Like some games. Fucking hell, Stu. Some games. Sticking with young Eddie. To be honest, I wouldn't have known about this game if it weren't for him. And I think a lot of us can sort of say that, you know, when you watch YouTube, you get influenced. If you're weak-minded, like I am, or if you've got any brains about you, you kind of like stick something to the back of your mind and think, I'll remember that. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. It did work in this case. This, again, it was in the bundle. It was missing the front insert. I didn't realise that at the time. But it may have come with the mouse. I can't remember now. But it's Power Diggers. Diggers. Taito game. And as the name suggests, yeah, you control a digger. And I think there's a controller for it. Again, old Eddie. I think he might have had it, or he was on about getting it in Japan or something. I think there's, like I say, proper control for it. It's missing the front sleeve. So I managed to bag one off of eBay, which actually proved more difficult to find than you think, because I actually found it from finding someone who was selling the back covers and then looking at their other items, and then he had that, because when I searched for Power Diggers front insert or front, it didn't come up. So then I just searched for Power Diggers insert and it was the back. And then I looked at his other items and he had a whole list of other, obviously, parting stuff out, and it was there. £5. I was like, yeah, I'll have it. Not going to mess about. So I bagged that one. This one's going down faster than the last time. You can hear my voice. I'm trying to, this is medicinal, by the way. Again, in the bundle, I'd seen this before. Someone was trying to sell this, and it did interest me because it's a Canary title. That was it. So I think I've got 2 Wii games up there. You can't see them. That are missing the discs, and I think these are kind of like in that world or that idea. And this is called Diver's Dream. It's not Echo the Dolphin. It's like Endless Ocean. I think it's. I don't think they're Konami games, though, are they? I'm looking up there, but they're very much that kind of thing where it's that sort of lucid, whatever. Yeah, you long lost wrecks, bursting with treasure, packed with adventure, submerge yourself in clear, warm Mediterranean waters and go in search of fame and fortune. So I think they're a lot of that sort of ilk where you're just chilling out. And this was all complete. It's a really nice condition, actually. I can't speak too much of it because it's me. I've been played. Don't be stupid, boy. And then lastly, this was from another bundle, a second bundle that I got from the guy who sold me these. And I think he did watch. I think he just watch. What's his bloody name? Because I should say thank you to him. I think I did anyway. Matt. I'm sure it's Matt. So thanks for that controller, mate. I'm sure this game was in the bundle as well. Ooh, I've got it confused. I can't remember. But one I didn't have, and when I saw it, I thought, you know what, I'm going to add that to mine. And it's Blast Radius. Again, one I think I've seen on someone else's video, but I could be wrong. It looks like what's the other one that they've got on there? Not Xevious. Ah, god damn it. My brain's gone. I can't think what it's called now. There's another shooter that looks, it reminds me of this. It's a Psygnosis game anyway. All complete, all, you know, quite nice condition and stuff. Like everything's in there. Yada. I can't think what the bloody game is now. It'll come to me. Maybe it's on the PS2. Maybe it's on the PS2. There's a game like this on the PS2. I remember playing it. But outside that, I can't speak too much of it. Yeah, again, 1,600 and something. So it's not an early release at all. But again, Psygnosis is still pumping out games by then. As you all know, Sony bought them out and then completely fucking ruined them. So that, I want to say, is all the PlayStation. Right, those are still here. Welcome back. Round 2. So I say, well, I've got some atari. Actually, I've got some of the bits on the market. I should probably show those, actually. I think it might have been Bolton. Bolton and Milton Keynes. It was Bolton and Milton Keynes. Let's get on to them. There's only two things. So from Bolton, I picked up the last of this to finish a subset. Welcome to the subject zone. Get ready. Welcome to the subset zone. Get ready. Clip courtesy of Eddie Rollercore again. So from Bolton it was. I picked up Wave Race 64. The player's choice. It's player's choice, isn't it? Yeah, because it's all covered in these fucking stickers. So this had proved quite elusive. Player's choice. Quite nice condition. It's all in now. I did check it. 30 quid is actually really good price for this. Let's say it includes a manual, box complete and stuff like that. It's how long it's been sat up there since Bolton, which was like, I don't know, beginning of the fucking year or something. I can't get that stick off. Fuck it. But yeah, so this now, I think there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, maybe 10 or so of these titles. So we've got like the little subset of those. A few more tricky to get hold of than others. Wave Race seems to be one. Lilac Wars is another one. Snowboard Kids, that's a tricky one. And then the more generic ones like your Banjos, your Marios and stuff like that, they're quite, you know, but they all hold the value. The old N64. But yeah, nice to complete that little subset. And then in Milton Keynes, and I think I mentioned this in one of the last vids, where it was a couple, they sell like plushes and they had some game stuff that they were selling. And like I say, when you do these events a lot, you kind of recognise people and you... It's not that I've got not any interest in plushes, but I don't buy plushes, so I kind of skirt past people like people selling plastic swords and, you know, what's his name? The guy who does all the signs. Mike and Jen, Matt and Jen. Oh God, why do I know Jen, but I don't know his first name? Mike. Oh, I can't remember. I think he actually does watch. But he's doing all the events this year. He's giving it a trial run. I can't think what his name is, but I haven't got any place to put any signs, you know. So although they're great, all 3D printed, they're no use to me. So I kind of like skirt past the stores, and it's not because I'm being rude. It's just that there's no use. But I always say hello, you know, and stuff like that. Anyway, the point being, there's a couple similar. They sell plushes, but this at Milton Keynes, they had a little side table. It had some games on it. Just you're selling games because normally you always sell plushes. And they said, yeah, it's just some of our collection that we thinned out. And it was like PS1, Xbox, and they were really nice. I think they were both their collections, but mainly the husbands. But unfortunately, there was nothing there that I needed, like nice PS1 titles, like RPGs and stuff like that. I had a discussion with them. Oh, unfortunately, I'm after. So well, we have got two other, or I think they had a couple of others. For whatever reason, they had to put them out because I think they were like more expensive. And they mentioned these two titles. I said, oh, I haven't got those. I kind of knew that I was like 99% sure I had the third one, and I do. So they showed me them anyway, and they showed me the prices, and they showed me the condition. And I thought, you know what? Just treat myself. Now, these are what I was on about in the last vid, where I didn't get an absolute bargain. It wasn't like these are £100 and I got them for 50 quid or anything daft like that, and I wouldn't fucking lie to you. I paid, I think, just below CEX mint. I think that's right. No, boxed, but these are like mint. That's right, yeah. They weren't mint. So I paid the box price, but kind of like for a bit mint, like a nice condition, if that makes sense. So I say they weren't Billy bargains, but I didn't overpay because the condition kind of justified the price. Anyway, the two games, but they're PS2 games, they're PS2 horror games, which really isn't my bag. But when I seen them then, I thought, you know what? Just get them, Stu. Just treat yourself. Add them to the collection. And it's Project Zero. Again, like I say, all really nice condition. And funnily enough, Project Zero 2. So those that are into your horrors and stuff like that, I don't know where Mark Geordie Slash has gone. I think he's got upset again and fucked off. But I know he was into his full horror set and stuff like that. So I think I paid £150 for the pair. I can't remember now. It was something like that. It wasn't a Billy bargain. It wasn't extortionate for what they are and the condition that they're in. That's how I looked at it. That's how I justified it to myself. And again, I've got the third one.